defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call...
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And his guys are going to have the football back as the third quarter comes to an end. And tough starting field position here. So after the INT, it's Bortles. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Throwing his Bortles on third down. And he's got it to Hearns. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Ivory. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Caught out left side by Robinson. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Out of the pistol, Ivory. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. 2nd down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Completes it to Hearns. And he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down. There were a couple holes there, partner. Was that zone coverage?
That's exactly what it was, Brandon. When you see man-to-man, that defender runs with the receiver. In this case, they were just taking care of their zone coverages, their responsibilities on the field, and the offense found the open space.
Now Bortles. And he's got his big receiver, Robinson, for the Jacksonville touchdown. Allen Robinson, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars have moved out in front. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. the touchdown. Here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation.
And now look at him go. A huge play there on the screen pass. 64 yards.
And depending on the type of screen called, especially when you're throwing it with one of your wideouts, it's different blocking. Sometimes you get great blocking from the other wide receivers helping you. And how about sometimes getting it from the offensive linemen who sell it like a regular screen pass and then get out in front of the receiver and help him get downfield.
A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Back to throw. And this is going to be hauled in. Oh, what a catch at the 10. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. He'll look to throw. A dump off now to Hill. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll run it with Hill. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day, get the blocker away, and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
An extra defensive back in the game here on 3rd and goal. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. That's complete right around the 8. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and it's looking like the Jags are going to win this football game. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Bortles going to look to throw. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. Picked off by Darquez Dennard.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand? And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So now this will be, in all likelihood, to force overtime. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Only one timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have one timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch, not at all.
They give it off here to the tight end. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Bortles with a knee to the ground, and that should do it. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with